Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 52 of Twins Talk Tech. I'm Bryce. That's Brent. We're twins. We talk tech. And today we have some new tech. Before we get into that, it's been a few weeks since we've been back. Since we've been back or since we've been gone? Since we've been gone. And not a heck of a lot has happened on my side. How about your side over there?
No, same. No. No, I'll tell you what I do have, and this isn't interesting to anybody.
That
but
was
I'm
going to last a
anyway.
little longer.
What's that?
I was hoping that would last a little longer. Okay, go ahead.
Well, what I have, again, this isn't interesting to most people, but it's interesting to me because I didn't think it was going to be anything. So,
That's all that matters.
yeah, there's a lot of people that have these, of course, there's car holders, phone holders for cars, right? Most of them squeeze the size of your phone in order to hold it in place. But now there's a lot of these magnet ones out there, and I didn't think they did any good.
Okay.
I bought a rear, what do they call them, backup camera or whatever. It's garbage. I'm not even going to do a review on it. That's how bad it is. So I'm not even talking about the backup camera. That's how it's just horrible. It's an awful technology. What I purchased anyway. It came with a little phone holder. So just a little on one side has a little pincher size that you slide over the vents, air conditioning vents, and then it just has a little circle that you put your the magnet basically, and then it comes with these little silver discs. It's going to be blurry because it's focused on my face, but that little silver circle in there. And I thought there's no way this thing is holding. As you can see, that's the little holes where the iPhone logo would go. I didn't think that this would hold the phone at all. It actually does a very good job, and we have bumpy roads out here where I live. Go ahead. Did you have a statement?
Question?
Yes, sir.
What is that a case? What is that?
This is the back. So this is the actual case. My phone I took off so I could put it where it is. So this is the case that I have. Is I don't know, Spigen case, Spigen, whatever. But anyway, so this is the rubber part that goes around the phone. As you can see, there's this little indented part, and then this goes on that. Supposed to give it more protection. I very much doubt that. However, it did give me a nice little spot to put this because then this goes over the phone or onto the case rather, and you can't see it on the case. It's not touching the phone. You can't see it in the back. It's a nice place to hide it. Because I wear a case on my phone now. I didn't used to.
You're holding it up to the recording camera.
Both cameras can see you as well as the recording camera. Okay. It is blurry to those who are watching it on the YouTubes, but you can see what we're talking about.
They're fairly popular, so I'm hoping they know what they are.
Yes. I'm just merely stating this is the only technology that has crept into this house, if you would even refer to this as technology.
Some do.
And I'm happy with it. Super happy with it. I'm going to put one probably in the Jeep. That's a little rougher ride. So we'll see how it lasts.
I just wasn't ready for that.
You weren't ready for that?
Okay.
Sorry, most people probably wouldn't be.
I think what happened is you said that little song or whatever that was, but the FaceTime connection kind of broke up. So it scrunched it and made it like 10 times faster than it should have been. Oh,
okay.
Which was fantastic.
On my side, I just sounded like a songbird. So
the downside to those, I like them. I like the convenience. I like the fact that they can hide away. Some of them come with little sticky backs, so if you don't use a case, you can still just stick it onto the back of your phone. But the newer phones, yours included, have the wireless charging capability, Qi charging.
Yep.
And that blocks the Qi charging because of the magnet.
Yes, it does. Now, another benefit to this. I do
use the Qi charging. So.
I don't use the Qi charging myself either, so that's a benefit. However, another thing to this, I could just merely, if I felt inclined, pop off this little piece, drop this down to charge it. I mean, that would be no different as far as how long it takes to do it as to plugging in the
plug it in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't use the Qi charging anyway, so that's not a concern of mine.
There you go.
Yep. But it is something to consider.
I was looking into them because I like.
It is something to consider if you do use the Qi charging. Yes.
Yes, it has to be considered, and it has to be put, unfortunately, where the Qi charging thing goes, basically, just for balance sake. Yep. So you couldn't try to shift it out of the way and still be able to prop it, because then it would be all lopsided.
Right.
Well, cool. Now on my side, this is not my personal device, but it is something that I've been playing with a little bit. They finally came in. It took about a month to get here after they were approved because of some issues. One of the issues we have here in the technology department is we have to relay, even if we give a direct link to something, we still have to explain the exact item that we want. You would think, of course, that the direct link to an item would help one. But what happens is, in an effort to save a couple dollars, they send the request, as an example, to multiple vendors, and the vendors kick back and say, we can give it to you for this price. And so sometimes I'll give an Amazon link or a B&H Photo Video link, but where we end up buying it through maybe Adorama, or a few other, maybe local companies. The problem with that is, and I'll use my Surface as an example, I gave the link and the model number to get it purchased. It was sent out. 3 of the vendors had the lower end model and only 1 vendor had the highest end. So they only gave me the option to buy the lowest end. I said, well, if that's the only one that's an offer or an option, then I don't want it, because at that point it's already too pricey, but now it's really too pricey for a product that's not even worth it.
Does it have the i3 in it?
What's that?
Does it have the i3 in it, the lowest end?
I think it has the i3 or maybe the Intel M processor. I don't remember which one now, but yeah, it was not worth it, basically. It's a netbook that you can pop the screen off of, and no thanks. That's not the reason I was buying it or wanted to buy it. So anyway, so that's just an example. I had to, they're like, they're the same model. I said, no, they're not the same model. You can even see here, those little numbers and letters, they're different. So same thing happened with these. This is the MEVO Plus. Let me hold it up so that you can get a gander as to what it looks like. It's just a tiny little camera and has a microphone array here in the front, on-off button, some symbols so that you can understand it's Wi-Fi ready, and the battery. Then on the back, you have a micro SD card. It claims that it can only recognize 32 gigs. We threw a 256 gig card in, recognizes it just fine, and everything works great. And then for charging, a micro USB. It's not for data or for anything else, unfortunately. It is just for charging the device. And you get roughly an hour as is, maybe an hour and a half. And that's what they claim. I haven't used it yet by itself. So anyway, so this is the MEVO Plus. This little gray grill here used to be red. That was the MEVO. Plus means it's really the second generation. I can't see anything that's been changed. The product looks identical, besides this is a different color. And the settings, the stats are still the same. The biggest difference, maybe the only difference, is that it's now owned by Vimeo. And so they nag you all the time when you open the app to subscribe to their high-end thing, which is, I want to say, $150, $200 a year. Which if you do, legitimate videos like this, or maybe regular interviews or podcasts, and you want to make sure it's on Vimeo and registered properly and all the other services that they provide, then maybe it's worth it. It's not for us because we don't need that. But anyways, so I'm recording with that as well. What's nice about it is if you buy the battery pack, which is this guy, how big this guy is, it's 3 times larger than the Vimeo itself, than the camera body. This is basically a 10-hour battery pack. Again, what they claim, it's 10 hours. You set it on here, you lock it in, you get a quarter 20 if you have a standard tripod, or you can pull this little insert out and then you can put it onto a mic stand, which is what it's sitting on currently for me. You flip the little situation here, the flap, you actually get a nice network connectivity, an RJ45 jack. So although it's using wireless, which is what I'm using right now, just to connect to my phone, right? That's me inside there, little phoneception, MEVOception. You can hardwire it just to kind of lock in that stream a little better. And then below it is a USB-A. So that's the one that would normally go into the back of a computer. That one is for data. And that's what's powering and receiving the audio from the Blue Yeti here. one of the tests will be the software and hardware does have the ability to use noise cancellation. From some previous tests, it seemed to work pretty well. Not amazing, but pretty well. And so this will be another test because, again, they were, the group of ladies that are back in here in the break room during this time, because it is lunchtime. They just, man, they love their stories, and they have a good time. And it sounds like I'm in there with them. So if this is canceling it or maybe muffling a little bit, so that'll be nice, because the Blue Yeti, as you know, Brent, is ridiculously sensitive. I have the Blue Yeti itself turned down. You can't see it in the G85 video, but I'll clip over to the MEVO video so you can see that, at least the dome here. But I have the volume here, or the gain, turned all the way down. You can't go any lower. Lower. And then I think I might have it just up a smidge in the software as a way to be able to control it. Because again, you do have the noise cancellation when it works. So, I'm a good 3 feet away. So I want to be 2.5 feet, 3 feet. I want to be able to be heard adequately, but I don't want to crank it up so much that we hear all the craziness going over there.
Right. Before you go on too far.
So anyway, go ahead.
Got a few questions, mainly regarding the charging stuff you mentioned. So the top part.
Okay, well, let me, before you get into that, I'm actually done. So that's good news. We'll go into your questions. I will hopefully have a review on it. I'm going to use one of the Mevos to record a review with some of the features of the zoom in, zoom out, and other things. And then show again with using this Mevo here. And it comes with this case, at least the kit that we purchased comes with this case. It's not inexpensive. You're looking at about $800 for the camera, the battery pack, and this case, a mic stand. So it's not the cheapest investment, but if this is strictly all you're wanting to do and kind of get up and running quickly with a one push option, then this is it seems like pretty nice. But you'll see the quality. It's, I would expect the quality to be a little better for the price, unfortunately, but it's definitely adequate. I would dare say that this is one of the most adequate quality videos.
Most adequate quality. That's what you're shooting for when we do this. Most adequate.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you had some questions. Battery, what?
So regarding the battery / charging. So the first question is regarding the actual camera part itself, the smaller part. You said it takes micro USB or whatever you said to charge it.
Yes, correct.
Will that, and you get an hour when it's charged, can you plug that in and just run it indefinitely plugged in?
They claim you can.
Cannot? Yes, no?
Yes, they claim that you can.
Okay.
Again, that's one that I'm going to test, but they claim that you can do that.
Okay, and then you mentioned the Blue Yeti's plugged in, so I would anticipate that is coming solely battery. The battery itself is what is powering the Yeti. Is that accurate? So it's feeding out power, but it's also receiving the audio, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So it's not,
you don't have... The only other way it would do that. What?
I was just going to say, so you don't have power coming from a wall, 110 or whatever, coming into the battery bank essentially, and then another USB. I didn't hear how many plugs, and with the small view that I'm looking at here, I didn't see how many plugs were back there. If you had another micro USB or anything, but.
Well, let me show you.
Well, you'll do the review. You don't have to break it out again, but great. Let's see it anyway.
It's easy. So it has a little lock area. You twist it to lock it. And this is just the charging cable, but for demonstration purposes. The back of the Mevo that I'm recording with currently is just that. It's running off of the battery bank, recording into the micro SD card in the Mevo camera itself. But out of the back of it is just one cable, and that one cable is running to the Blue Yeti, powering the Blue Yeti, but also receiving the audio signal from the Blue Yeti.
Right. Okay.
And so again, I'll do some tests. I have this guy, which is the Tascam DR40, a nice little recording device that you can record to SD card. It accepts Phantom as well as 1/4 inch. and then it has its own built-in stereo mics. But it has a USB connector, so I want to test if I plug USB into the MEVO, can I use this or maybe 2 XLRs plugged into it as a microphone source? I don't think you can because I don't know exactly how this works when it's plugged into USB. Does it work as a, what do they call that? Audio interface. If this acts as an audio interface, then maybe it will, but I don't think it does, but I'm going to test it. And then of course I have my old Audio Acoustic. Who is it? It's under a pile of stuff over here, but the old one I used to use for these podcasts. I have that as well. Yep. I'm going to plug that in to get an audio test. That one acts more as a dynamic microphone.
Well, that one you can use.
Needs to be closer.
You can use USB as well as XLR, correct?
Correct. So yeah, I have options. But yeah, if you're using the MEVO, then obviously it's nice to be able to, maybe if you have a handheld mic and you want to do an interview style.
Right.
Just feel like someone's moving inside. So anyway, so that's the MEVO Plus. It comes with, the MEVO itself comes with a short cable, probably 3 feet. It's actually fairly thick compared to your average USB cable that you get. And then the typical small brick, when you buy the battery pack, here's the small brick, almost a square with a weird shape on the end of it. When you get the battery pack, it comes with more of an iPad or tablet size charger.
Right.
But a much longer cable, about 10 or 15 feet.
Wow, 15
so that's
feet.
Nice. Yeah. Gives you, some extra distance there for the power that, a lot of times you don't get. I mean, you can run an extension cord or whatever, but nice to be able to just, one cable going where you need to go. But again, we got the battery pack because it does last, again, in theory, 10 hours. And so I'll have a review potentially up on that somewhat soon. We've got quite a bit going on here. After the holidays, things pick up, and part of my responsibility here has been doing the security cameras, and those are moving in quick. So actually, when I'm done here, I got to bolt out to a school and figure out why 3 of them aren't working. But so I'm a little packed more than usual, and I've been hungrier more than usual, packing on the lbs. But I'm going to get to it. I tried it once, actually. Full disclosure, I did start the process. Unfortunately, the SD card that came with my MEVO, there's 2 of us, so two of them, so one, I get one and another gets one. Seems like my SD card is corrupted, so I've already dealt with the company. Their tech support, apparently they're going to replace it, but they have not yet said if they're replacing the entire MEVO or just the SD card.
Why would they replace the entire MEVO?
Some companies have various policies. Being brand new, we're going to just replace the whole kit. We'll send you a new one. Send us yours when you get it. Because it came with it, is that way? It did. Matter of fact, it didn't even come separate. It was actually already pre-installed. It had this sitting in the case already, but it was still wrapped in cellophane. So that's how they do it. And they're little SanDisk cards, so they're good quality cards. Right. I have a couple of them at home already, but just unfortunately, I got a bad one. So anyway, so that's the MEVO Plus. When I do the full review, it'll the whole shebang on the features. Again, here we're probably only going to use a couple of the features, but there's quite a few of them. And part of the reason for this is not just for the podcast, but it's also for testing here. How well does the Blue Yeti work with this in this type of an environment? If anyone ever does want to do an interview style something, could 2 people be sitting next to each other using this one mic? Is this clear enough to be able to be used, or do we need to find some other type of an interface, USB interface, to pull in multiple microphones?
Do you know if it has, it's coming to my mind because of its circular shape, does it do tracking? Does it turn at all, or is it stationary?
No, it is stationary. It does have face tracking ability. So if you watch their promo videos, they'll show like a stage. This is sitting in front of the stage. And the MEVO it's 155 degree field of view. So if you're just standing in the middle, walking back and forth, and you're in 1080p mode or 720p mode, it will do face tracking. So the software will follow you. If you're in full 4K mode, it won't do that, probably because it doesn't have enough power inside there to do that. But it will track you using that, which is nice. If you are in, it's not coming to my mind right now, but there's another setting as well to where I think it's if you have multiple people, very similar to Google Plus, it will then wherever it recognizes the sound coming from, it'll automatically switch between that person, act as like an automatic video switcher. I don't think we're going to be ever using that one. I don't know if I would really trust the brains of this guy to do that kind of work. But
well, it has that array of microphones, doesn't it? Would it not be able to figure out where the audio is coming from?
It says array, but there's only like 3 or 4. I don't know how good they are detecting, location. But that's why we're going to test it. So, and I've been given the approval to do to take the time and test it. We got somebody coming in. So when I do finally get to that point, I'll make this benefit. So come on in, don't be shy. Come on in, Lonnie. This is Lonnie. I'd welcome you back. We're just doing a little podcast. Okay. Not live to the internet. He said it's not live. No. Can we find something or should I just keep going? Okay. There's headsets in my the ThinkRight or the yeah. All right, anyway. So that's one thing I plan on doing is having the review, but it's going to be testing for here. Everyone will benefit, hopefully.
Yep.
That's the plan. We'll see. We'll see how long that takes.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right. Anything else going on your side?
Nope, not currently. Not really.
No? All right. You're a blast today.
I am.
You get your nap in?
No, I didn't.
That's the problem.
I would have liked to. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll shut it down because the AC is off in here today, which is nice for sound, but not for heat. And these 2 lights are loud. Here's the thing, quickly. So I broke a light. We were doing a photo shoot. A photo shoot for the department a few weeks back or a month back or whatever it was. And so these lights being inexpensive, cheaper ones, they're not very heavy. The frames are very light, flimsy, and I have some sandbags, but I didn't bring them and to put on the side. Anyways, the extension cord pulled it and it fell down, broke the lamp, the bulb. And so I found these bulbs online. They were inexpensive, but they put out supposedly 13,000 lumens, which is quite a few lumens, right?
13,000 is a lot of lumens, yes.
120 volts, 500 watts. But I've tried 2 bulbs already. You have to let them warm up for about 10 minutes or they buzz. There's a buzzing sound.
They buzz on their way to their max lumens?
That's maybe what they're doing. I don't know. So that's a frustration. Got them from the old Amazon. I was trying to get our district to pay for upgrading to LEDs. But he says, well, you got to sell it better. You got to pull in more business to use the stuff more. And I'm like, I'm trying. When people realize they got to be the ones in front of the camera or that they got to write the script, they bail. What? Work for me? So it hasn't happened yet. And that's what we're hoping this guy, being so small, the MEVO, being so small and, kind of, I can't think of the word, the one that's, you're not so up in your face like a big camera with a microphone and a bunch of other stuff, so we could put this there and that there and people would potentially forget about it.
Relax a little bit.
What's that?
People would relax a little bit, be themselves maybe.
Hopefully. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been 25 minutes of shocking me rambling. So until next time, we'll see what's happening. You know, one thing I didn't test. Well, we'll see. I forgot if when the Blue Yeti's mute button is solid red, that means it is not muted. Correct?
Correct. When it's blinking is when it's muted. Yeah. Because I just coughed.
Thought, but
I just coughed. You heard me cough, but I pushed the button, so it just happened to be that I can confirm that because I just did it. So
okay, good. Because I just looked down, it was solid red. I'm like, okay, that stinks. But I think we're good. Okay, so we're good there?
Oh, we're almost good. We are basically good, but just to mention that about the Yeti, one thing that I don't like, and maybe you can say if you've noticed it on yours, if you've ever done it, but there's just a slight little noise when you push in the button to mute it. So like for myself, I would have to go in and edit that out. Otherwise there would be a little ding. So that would be nice if they would adjust that so that I could push that button and it'd be a quiet mute as opposed to now I've got to go back in and do that. So that's just a little side point. Figured I'd say it.
Yeah, a little click every once in a while. It is true. But I'm sure they would have to, maybe that's in the next version, they'd have to rejigger some of the whatnots inside here.
Yep.
Okay. And I'll play with mine. I don't actually ever, that I know of. This is the first time. So I'll do it right now. Yeah, it's a very faint click, so it'll be interesting to see how that.
Yep. So like you wouldn't, in your case, your microphone that you're speaking into may not have picked it up, but because this is the one that I'm talking into, I can even see it on my, I record into Audacity, so I can see the waveform. And definitely the microphone itself picks up its own noise, and that's what I'm referring to.
Well, I am recording with it to the MEVO, so
okay, so you might
the Mevo's audio might have it.
Right. Okay.
So we'll do that test there. Okay, so that's good for now. Thanks everyone for watching. If you notice, we're up to 21 subscribers. This is crazy. It's getting out of hand. I don't know what's happening here. We're trending. I mean, our version of trending.
Right, for us.
So, one of these days we'll have to start making this entertaining for these poor 21 subscribers.
Wow. Yeah.
21 subscribers, 7 or 8 views. So that's interesting. But I do subscribe to quite a few channels that I watch a video, 1 out of every 10 videos. So I guess I get it. I'm part of that crowd. So thank you to those that have subscribed. Thank you for watching. If you're interested, then shoot a message. If you have questions, shoot a message. If you want to say thanks for trying, give us some improvements for next time, shoot a message, put something in the comments there. And till next time, you guys have a great one.
All right. Take care.